All right, the other one, Living or Dead. We don't have to play it, but I do want to tell the story for posterity. Earlier tonight, who was the first one?
The first one was Natalie Portman.
So we were walking through the Auburn Mall, and there's like a perfume counter. And they had pictures of celebrities that have sold their souls to perfumes. And I forget who the first one was. It was like Anne Hathaway or something.
Someone attractive and cool. Charlize is my favorite.
Oh, it was Charlize. Yes, that's right. We were like, hi, Charlize. And then like a couple feet over, there was another picture. And it was Natalie Portman. And I said, hi, Winona. And Dan goes, that's Natalie. I was like, oh, shit. Yeah. I said, I've confused them my whole life. I was like, I know who they are. I know the difference. I know what they were in. You could put them side by side. I was like, of course, this is Natalie and this is Winona. But for some weird reason in my head, I confused them. And then we were like, what's the age difference?
Yeah, we think it's over 10 years.
And then I was like, I think, because I was thinking about Star Trek. Oh my God, I did it again.
Starstruck.
Moonstruck. Cher. I was thinking about Cher. I was thinking about Star Wars Episode 1, and I was like, okay, I saw it in the theater, and she wasn't that much older than me, I didn't think. And so I was like, I think she's 38. And Dan said,
I think she's 41. We look it up. 41 exactly. Born in 1981. June, I think. A Cancer, maybe. And
then, of course, I went on to just be like, oh, I've been in love with Winona my whole life.
And I've been in love with Natalie my whole life. So
we should double date.
Yeah. Wait, how old do you think Winona is?
All right. If Beetlejuice came out in 88, which I think it did, God, I mean, I guess 1970. Okay, I'm going to say she's 52.
Born October 29th, 1971. She's 50.
All right.
Going on 51.
Okay.
Looking so good for 50.
She looks amazing.
And, looks like an actual, she is aging.
Oh, as opposed to,
like a fake person not aging.
And my whole thing was, Winona has that spooky vibe that I dig.
Natalie has that nerdy vibe that I dig.
I like a nerdy vibe too, but she's I don't know. You see that SNL thing she did where she was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna fuck you."
It's so good.
I know I know it's a joke, but I was just like, I don't know.
You're just vulgar.
There's something about her that I don't think she and I would get along.
Yeah.
Winona and I.
Absolutely.
We'd have a great time. I'm not saying we'd have to date. Necessarily.
Mm-hmm.
Have to date. Nobody would put a gun to our heads and say date. But, a night hanging out at Ralph's Diner, I think we'd get along great. A lot of similar music, probably. You know what I mean? John Cusack would pop in. He'd be like, hey, guys, sorry, I was in Chicago for a Cubs game. When it did.
So, after the Natalie guessing game...
Oh, this is where it gets weird. I don't even know this
person. Who's the person?
So we have dinner at Chuck's Steakhouse. Shout out. We walk out, and I go, I don't even know how it came up. But I was like, I have this great vacuum cleaner. It's an Oreck. Remember David Oreck?
Oreck.
And Dan was like, no. And I was like, no, he used to be on the TV commercials all the time when I was a kid, when we were kids. David Oreck would come out. It was an all-white background. He'd come out in a suit, old white man, and he'd say, I have the best vacuum cleaner in the world. And then he'd go take a look. And this beautiful model would come out, and she'd hold up the sucker part of the vacuum cleaner, and it would be holding up a bowling ball. And it would be like, this is a 10-pound bowling ball. And it would cut back to him. And he'd be like, see what I mean? And then he'd take the vacuum cleaner by the handle, and he'd lift it with 2 fingers. Old man! Frail! And he'd lift it up. with ease. And he'd say, and you can lift it with 2 fingers.
Keep in mind, he's an old man at this time.
Right. And this is from childhood. So I was like, David Oreck. Alive or dead, and if alive, how old? And so...
I don't even think I took a guess, but...
You didn't even know who he... I mean, you didn't know who he was. I described the situation, and you were like, there's no way. He's alive. And I said, I think he's alive. But I think he's old, and I think he's 98.
And he nailed it. I think nailing it at 98 is so much harder than nailing Natalie Portman at 41.
Hey, you'd love to nail Natalie Portman at 41.